Hi, my name is Olukunle Owolabi. I'm a PhD mechanical engineering student at Tufts University. I work on a research where I study risks in human natural systems. Today, I'll be talking about power outage risk interconnection and its relationship with social environmental critical risks. Um, what a power outage is? I'm sure every one of us has experienced power outages one time or the other. It's an uncomfortable situation, and it's essentially a risk in the energy system, which affect both the consumers, end users like myself and you, and the utility companies. Statistics have shown that 30 hours of interruption is experienced in Massachusetts by the average consumer, according to EIA data. And basically, the aim of this project is to explore the relationship between power outage risk and social environmental indicators. So, quickly, the idea in general is that we want to quantify outage risks. That's the first thing. And how are we doing that? We use something called the System Average Interruption Duration Index (SAIDI), which is basically a fraction that sums up, multiplies the duration and customers affected and divides it by the customer served. It's a robust equation used to quantify power outages, the severity. Um, so in this project, we will incorporate weather variables such as wind speed, which is the environmental side of it, and would also incorporate the social indicators, which is the population density. For our project, the area of interest is mass. So the data we use is gotten from the Massachusetts Office of Energy and Environmental Affairs. Is the data on three major utilities in Massachusetts that collect data on the disturbances in their systems. And this data ranges between 5 years, between January 2013 and December 2018. We're lucky to have very good resolution data. We have mini temporal resolution, and the special resolution is city or town, which is pretty good. So basically, this is the approach. First, we pre-process our data because the data obtained is not in the cleanest version. So first we do that to give it in a format that is workable. Then we use the correlation matrix to understand relationship between various features in the data. We have the weather component and we have the power outage component. And we also collect data on the population density disparity, and we try to use that to match the data. And next we do the random forest to understand which features are important, and then we do the feature selection based off of that. And two major statistical approach are used. The locally weighted scatters plus smoothing lowest is very good for this kind of analysis, and that's why we've used it. um, it's very good because you can essentially use it to fit like a very smooth, not linear relationship between each of the some of these variables, because our analysis doesn't follow a defined straight line. Lowest is pretty good. We also use the generalized identity models to sort of fit the model. We do that on the test data in order to sort of confirm the analysis from the lowest, and then do a 95% confidence interval for this work. um, so basically, in these are one of the results. So this is basically a plot of the SAIDI, which is a representation of the power outage severity, and the average wind speed, which is essentially a weather variable. So we're trying to look at that relationship, that two relationship between the wind speed and the SAIDI, as well as also segregating each of those by the um, social variable, which is population density. Here, what we find is that the outage severity risk increases significantly after 20 meters per second wind speed, and that you see that uptick after 20 meters per second for all of the bands of population densities. As well, we see something which is interesting on the social side in terms of the significant separation between population density, where higher population density areas, tend lower population density area rather tend to experience more power outages at extreme winds. In terms of the future work, we want to explore other weather effects such as snow precipitation. Also, we want to incorporate tree and vegetation influences as well as animal ecological influences, which we've also found to also affect the severity of power outages. Another thing we've discovered is that SADI can be kind of inefficient in this kind of quantification. So we're exploring other ways to quantify the power outage risk. Additionally, we want to explore some other models. In particular, we're looking at predictive models, which might be interesting as well in terms of trying to actually predict power outages. So we could explore machine learning and deep learning techniques to do those.